Hey guys, it's been a while. I'm so sorry for the delay. There's been a lot going on, but I thought I would release an update to the Reap guide, where I got it to, and how I did in the end game in the end. I'm sorry for such a delay. So as you just seen, I did a whole little boss montage, all the cool shit, and I'm currently showing you the formed and the hidden fights, which the hidden is probably the second hardest encounter in the game. And so I'm just overlaying that while I have a little bit of a talk about the build and stuff and going over all the basics. So quickly I want to release a disclaimer, I guess. I have been pretty busy in my personal life and that's why I have been so delayed with these videos. I'm really sorry. I was in the hospital for a few days doing a clinical trial. All the boys in the Discord know, so everyone, I hope you can understand. I've been busy, that's why it's been so slow. If you aren't already in the Discord, I would recommend joining the Discord. I'll show it now. We actually do have a Path of Exile chat in here. Heaps of people have been really helpful in here, and also even in the general chat. If you join here, it's much easier to get a response. Almost everyone here has played the build or knows a lot about the build, and everyone responds frequently, and even I respond frequently. I was even responding while I was in the hospital on the Discord because I could still use the laptop with one hand. So the Discord is in the link is in the description below, as well as the new path of buildings for both cast on crit and self cast. So I ended up switching back and forth between the two. Self cast in the end is a better boss killing build, and cock is a better all rounder build. But both are pretty viable, and it's only a 10 regret orb switch. When I switched my gear, personally, just for the recordings of these videos, it was only about 10 chaos. If that. 10 regret orbs and some some gem switches, and that's about it. I'll quickly go over, because I've been rambling on enough, I'll quickly go over the path of building themselves. So this right here is the cast on crit path of building, which will be in the description below. A lot of people are asking for some of the intermediate levels, leveling trees, so I've added level 85, 95, 100, and level 75. And honestly, the cast on crit build was feeling amazing for ultimatums. I think for all-rounder, you'd probably want to play cast on crit, as ultimatums are actually pretty big currencies still. I was consistently getting 5 to 10 chaos a map, even just from general profits, and I found it really good. One thing you should notice is attack speed is pretty important, and you should try and squeeze it in wherever you can. One cheeky way I've done this, and this is my exact gear, by the way, so it's quite accurate. I've snuck it in on my gloves. I've got 10% increased attack speed. You could also get attack crit, but it would be very expensive. But you can sneak it in like on the gloves and shit. Down here, it's pretty important as well. But one really, really big important thing to know, it's very complicated math, and path of building does this math, but it doesn't quite tell you, is you don't want to exceed 6.06 attacks per second. And I'll show you why. So you have your attack speed, it's increased, 6.01. The moment you go over, you're going to lose a lot of DPS. So you'll see here 2.87 million. So and you've increased your attack speed and you've gone down 2.7 million. That's just because you start critting and triggering your skill faster than the server can handle and faster than your build can handle, so it doesn't quite calculate properly and you actually lose a lot of DPS. So if you're playing cock, please note, and please note, do not exceed 6 attacks per second. We don't really need it, and it's actually worse for your build. Otherwise, yeah, you really don't need much. The biggest investment, if you're going above level 90, I'd recommend for the cast and crit, is grabbing this cluster jewel, getting Endurance Focus and Precise Focus. Endurance Focus grants you heaps of physical damage reduction. It's really amazing for the build, really, really good, and it'll keep you alive a lot longer. But I personally wasn't dying at all. You'll see one death in the formed clip that I played just before. That's about it. I've not really died. I died a lot in Maven. That's because I'm really bad. But it wasn't because I couldn't do Maven, the build couldn't do Maven. I personally couldn't do Maven. I would fumble my way into all her silences all the time, and I was a bit of a mess. But the build came a long way. I do want to quickly apologize. I've done it a few videos. The transition into low life was difficult, but once you were able to surmount that transition, it worked out really well. and I was really happy with how the build ended up being. And I've been farming high tier maps for like pretty much no issue. Just Awaken a 9, tier 16s, no problem. I've been personally doing it on the self-cast version. So this is the cast and crit. The gem changes, a lot of people were asking before. I'm using the Herald of Ash, Herald of Purity, Precision. Precision's super important. All the gems are in the path of building, like I've always put. And I've actually put the best alternate gems. This is super min-max, and you really don't need alternate gems, but the best alternate gems in there as well. Just so you know, if you want to look for alternates, what you should get. As for the self-cast is also a bit of a pooner. It's amazing. I loved it. And I also did really well with it. I stuck with this for the most part, self-casting. The main game changer for self-cast is you want to be grabbing Awaken Spell Cascade. You also get this for Cog. But what makes this build good, and it really, really sucks that this is the case, is with how clunky this skill is, it feels like shit until you get Awaken Spell Cascade, and then it's amazing. It's insane how much this build changed. I got very lucky, and I know you guys might be able to get this. I got given a handout from someone who was playing my build, ironically. Someone who was playing my build, and they'd gotten very lucky drops, and they were absolutely creaming the endgame content, and they gave me an Awakened Spell Cascade. But I also had setbacks that other people don't have, because I'm streaming and stuff. I would have challenges where people vowed every single piece of my gear. So I had my entire gear set vowed and stuff like that. So there's, duality, it balances out. But the self-cast version is really enjoyable. The noticeable upgrades, I might put an order of priority of upgrades. Awakened Spell Cascade's huge. Unnatural Instinct is pretty big as well, but this is skyrocketed in price, sadly. It's very expensive. Lethal Pride's amazing. You don't really need anything specific, just +4 strength. And a really big one has been grabbing AoE. So as I reached the lower levels, I didn't really want to go into cluster jewels as they're kind of gross. But grabbing AoE where you can makes a really big difference, and it makes your clearing really, really juicy. So that's been one thing I've really liked to grab, and I've found it really amazing. That's practically it though. I mean, there's not really much else to say. I can't really describe better than the Path of Building could, so I've got them in the description. I will be working through and updating the forum guide as over the next few days. I've left it a little bit. I'm sorry if you're a big forum enjoyer, but I'll be on it soon. I've had all this hospital stuff going on, and I've been a busy boy. In the next few days, I'm going to start leveling a new build, and I'm also going to be uploading some generalized content, so more like stream highlights and stuff like that to the YouTube channel. Hopefully you can enjoy that, and if you don't, just don't watch it. The thumbnails will be very different. I try and thumbnail very differently for each video, so it's kind of, you know what you're getting into. But that's been it. The Reap build's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. If you want to drop by my stream, link's also in the description. I'll be streaming tomorrow, and hopefully I'll have a stream explaining my trip to the hospital, how it went, etc., and explaining it for all the boys. And I hope everyone has enjoyed. Enjoy. Have a good night. Bye-bye.